You're such an asshole.
All right. Well, the camera is off because the internet says I don't have really good. Oh, it's back now. There we go. I was about to say. We have requests. If you have a request, always go to assholeconsulting.com. And I'll be honest about this one. As predictably, oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm just doing it. I'm doing it this way. As predictably, it's not. I don't think it's any one individual's fault. And honestly, with the background that I've been given, which I believe is intellectually honest, I'm kind of at a draw. I think it's a little bit of everything, but I'll give you my thoughts. And by the way, I'm not an official marriage counselor, but neither is anyone else. That's not a thing. That's a washed up psychologist. And I think if you're already at marriage counseling, which this is not, it's just addressing my non de plume I gave there, it's over. But let's go on to this one. Hi, Aaron. I'm from the Midwest, and both my husband and I watch your show quite frequently. I'm well versed on all red pill topics and in agreement with about 99% of the topics discussed. So I'm like, okay. Well, so this isn't just some gal who's like, you didn't buy me a Lamborghini. When I met my husband a little while ago, he was and is an avid watcher of you and Rollo Tomasi. I enjoy your content, even though sometimes it can be frustrating hearing something. No. There's no frustration. It either is true or it's not. That's it. That's all it is. True or it's not. There's no, I always found that when I heard that you read off the federal budget, I didn't like it. It's the federal budget. It either is or it isn't, and it is. So stop getting an opinion about fact or getting emotions about facts. Very brief background on myself. I can only imagine what you'd say on the show, but here it goes anyway. I am younger 30s, was with my ex-husband from 21 to 30, who I'm pretty sure was BPD. We share a son, and he's very involved with him, even though he's an emotionally volatile person at times. I divorced him after he refused to get years for help for alcoholism and his emotional dysregulation. Okay, fine, mistakes made. I've been through a ton of therapy myself to overcome that. I met my current husband. Stop. Okay, look, I know this happened years ago that you got. Why y'all getting married? Why? He consumes red pill. You consume red pill. Rollo Tomasi, there's one that points out that marriage is an unconscionable contract. And we're going to get to some other agreements that you have within your marriage where it's like, well, why the hell are you married? Why can't you just be together? So I don't know. Do you have to be married? Can you guys annul it on agreeable terms? You're not gonna stab him in the back in family court. Oh, he was emotionally abusive. I didn't feel sad. No, I mean, it sounds like you're an honest. I mean, I guess it's moot at this point in time. It's academic question for why did you guys get married? If you went through a divorce, both of you, why? Didn't you learn the first time? Don't you want to? It's a joke and it's not a joke. The guys I hang out with, they see the GF. She's a striking woman. It's true. I'm not bragging. I'm describing. See again, no emotions. It is. And they how long you've been together? I don't know. It's been 15 years, I guess. Somewhere we're in the teens. And of course, there's some dumb lady always got to ask, well, why aren't you married? When you going to put a ring on you? Why you make her property? Why you be a miserable little bitch like me? And I said loud enough for everyone to hear, but not too loud to be impolite. I say, we're not going to get married. I want to have sex. And every guy laughed. And like, depending whether the wife was there. And every woman was pissed off. Go fuck yourself, ladies. We don't want sex. Now fuck off. Not you, madam. My anger is not. It's the hypocrisy of most of the gals. Why would you ruin a good thing with marriage? Just a question. Where'd I go? I met my current husband after a short stint of online dating and proud to say I did not ride the cock carousel and no longer a liberal or a feminist. All right. Well, you done fucked up there, huh? How'd that work out? You've learned. I also have a worthless degree. I don't want to identify you too much. However, I work in, I guess, what would be a legitimate arm or branch of that field or what you could do with that degree. It's tough and I frequently want to quit, but it pays decent money. No, it's not tough. No, here I am going to call you out on something. This is where this is this I would estimate to be a true yet constructive criticism where you could improve. You've had life pretty easy with that degree and that job, and you think that's tough. Now, it wasn't fun going with your ex-husband, I'm sure, mental problems, alcoholism, I get it. All right. You have you weren't in war. I'm going to assume you weren't starving. I'm going to assume your parents kind of helped you out a little bit. You don't know what true pain is. You got an idea. The divorce wasn't fun, but hunger and starvation, you can't handle that job. This is like, it's not, it's akin to, but nowhere near the weakness of the Hollywood writers protesting. Like, oh my God, I don't have, it's not anywhere near that bad, but there's elements like, hey, sounds like unless there's some I don't know about it, like you see death daily. It sounds a little weak. Get tougher, get stronger. One of the added bonuses is that I work remotely. I don't want to hear, okay, you don't have a commute. I don't want to hear about it. It's not hard. That not once did I ever say, now dealing with bankers was hard, but being a banker or an analyst, not hard. Oh, look at the spreadsheets. My husband, who's significantly older than me, has a son and is also once divorced. He is a STEM guy, makes around 120,000 and works remotely most of the time as well, although he has recently started going into the office part of the week. All right, here's another potential problem. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but y'all got to get away from each other. Like me and the GF, we work together at the house, but I have my own room. She has her own room. And she's like, I'm going away to visit my family for 2 weeks. Bye. Will you be okay? Yeah. But more on a daily basis. Like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to go play poker. I'm going to do something. And so, yeah, I think that might be neither of your fault. Now you get sick of each other. It's like a roommate situation. Not male nor female dynamics. It's just you're there all the time. You need to be more sparse. So I don't know if there's really something you could do to work on that. I mean, one person go to the office all the time, so you're not there. You're not you're not flooding the market with your presence, and therefore your value goes down, either you or him. But I think him going to the office for part of the week is good. Now the problem. I'm reaching out to you because anytime I bring up something that may be potentially problematic with my husband, he thinks I'm just shit testing him. Okay, big red flag. Yes, there have been times when I have. How about this? Knock it the fuck off. I remember my mom telling me, I was like in my 30s. She says, yeah, I used to nag your father, but it didn't work. And it was such a sad insight, because moms are moms. You love your mom. It was such a sad insight where it's like, so you consciously do that. You consciously annoy and perturb your husband. Now, we could argue the slight differences between the shit test and nagging. It doesn't matter to me. You're harassing him, and you did it on purpose. Why? What possibly did you, let alone any other woman, in all the history of women and the women of today presently alive, I ask you this simple question. What do you possibly think that any kind of good would come from that? What did you think was going to happen? We're going to get into it here. This is not a lackadaisical man. This is a professionally paid, hardworking man at his peak, his prime, if he's older than you by that much. He's in his high income earning years. He also probably has to pay out his ex-wife something and stuff. We're going to get to all the other projects you got going on. This is an incredibly busy and occupied man, as you are. Would you like him to play mind games with you? No. Don't you dare do it, and swear to fucking Christ, don't you ever do it again. Knock that shit off Now you are a full-grown adult woman. You will not play middle school girl games. I don't care how embedded it is into the female psychology. I just got to nag them because we're women. Well, why don't you knock that off? Be actually red pill and never do that again. Now you have concerns. Hey, the car tire blowout. Oh, hey, okay. Hey, do we renew the insurance? Oh yeah. I'm gonna test and poke. We're running out of dish soap. Don't here. I'm about the age of your husband. At our age, we don't want to hear about petty bullshit either. You got to discern like what's important. Basically, I'll tell you what basically your husband or all guys want is they want to be the interactions they want with you is one of being fun and playful and sexy, to be inspirational, to be energizing. Now, living in our household and you got all these projects. Yes, some of the conversations will have to be about logistics or management but you gotta don't bother him with petty fucking bullshit. You're out of soap? Go get some damn soap. I gotta imagine that's $60 an hour, and he's probably trying to save up some money, trying to come back from behind financially. And no, I'm acutely aware of this because I got to deal with an insurance company. I got to deal with repairs. I got to deal with the house and regular maintenance. I got to do my own job. And then there's times that GF innocent, and you know what? You're not doing it maliciously in some. I get it, but take before you come up with a complaint to him. Think, well, is this really worth interrupting his stream of thought or conscious or his project he's working on? The kid needs shoes. Go get the damn shoes. Small, minor stuff. And it may be small and minor, but again, there's a lot of project guys working on. There's not a lot of lubrication in this engine. There's not even a slight irritant like that. If you guys are millionaires and you just lounged around, oh, the children need shoes. Oh my goodness, go to Amazon, my dear, and buy some. You guys are redlining it. Not anything with your relationship, as far as I can tell, but with the amount you have bitten off in terms of projects, his fuse is already short. Not even for bullshit, for like tedium. And no doubt he's working on a lot of stuff. Whether it's you nagging him or bothering with petty shit, don't do it. Right? That just support. Or stand out of the way, or go. He doesn't want you. Like, oh my God, do you need that? What do you need? Don't annoy him in that way either. But when you're going to interact with him about anything that isn't fun, let's use this as a rule so you can follow it. If you're going to interact with your husband on anything that isn't fun, which is required, house, child, maintenance, everything, got it. Is it something you could just kind of take care of yourself? And he doesn't need to have a conversation, like a 3-minute conversation on what kind of napkins to get, right? Or is it, oh, yeah, no, we need to make a joint decision. I really need his input, or it really is his domain. Okay. And if you just cut that bullshit out, that's only going to help. It's going to help. May not solve all the problems, but it's going to help. He would obviously have the exact same, you would have the exact same requirement of him, for him not to bother you. But I don't see guys going up to girl, oh my God, what kind of wrapping paper should we get for little Bobby's birthday? You see the money I'm trying, which is why I have a lock on my door. That's another thing. If you don't have your own separate rooms, go get your own separate rooms. Kick the kids out. Yeah, your bedrooms are ours. There's tents outside. Now the problem, reaching out to me anytime I bring up something be problematic to the husband. He thinks I'm just shit testing. Yes, there have been times when I have, and I will own it, apologize, and correct myself. I respect him, and but okay, you've already done it now. You've already thrown one grain of sand into the engine. The damage is done. I'm saying don't do the damage. And if even agreed to him sleeping with other women, hang on, stop. This is where, like, I salute you, madam. This is where I it's not because it's sexy or saucy, but gals who do that, holy shit, you aren't the typical gal. You actually do like this guy. So if your husband's watching, dude, wow, it it don't really get any better than this. It shows you selfless. Now, some people may disagree about the morality. I'm not arguing that, but the fact you're okay with that indicates to me that you're intellectually honest and you're not just he doesn't get my like it's like, whoa, okay. So I have to also side with you and believe everything you're saying is true and that you are sincere because most women wouldn't do that. Even though I sleep with him almost every single time he wants, and we do have very frequent sex. Good for you. Look at you doing, it's like the three things: be sexy, be nice, long hair, have sex. And Tom Likas would say, shut up. That's almost a wrong, goes too far. It's like, don't bother men with petty shit. Because I recognize that he is a high value man. However, he is incredibly critical of me all the time. All right, here's where I'm confused. This is why I may not have the answer. The bouts of his anger about household work tend to pop up every couple of months. All right. Since it is repeating, whether this is right or not, I'm not saying who's at fault. You may not be at fault. There is something you're doing, or in this case, failing to do, that agitates him and he yells. It may be a perfectly acceptable thing. It may be you could be completely innocent. That doesn't change the fact that there is an instance or an event that is under your responsibility that triggers him into this anger and rage, right? Because now for the audience, she's going to go through. She ain't sitting there eating bonbons watching the Hallmark Channel. The bouts of his anger about household work tend to pop up every couple months. I do the dishes by hand several times a day. All right, I'm okay. In your defense, there's only 4 of you there at any given time. This presumes that both the kids are not at their other parent's house. You do dishes several times a day, buddy. How often? How clean do you need the dishes? I'm criticizing your husband. If I have to judge, if I'm with the gavel, I knock it on. I rule in your favor. Dishes don't have to be done several times a day. Right? Put them in the dishwasher, put them in the sink, and at the end of the day, do them. It's all right if they're there. Because to be fair, you also have a job. You also have a kid. You have all these other household duties we're about to go over here as well. So, like my old man would make us vacuum after every meal. And everybody, I remember other family members like, man, he's anal retentive. His little kids, we didn't know what that was. No, not acceptable. Be a gorgeous day outside. Kids want to go blah, like banging to get out of prison. We got vacuum. What? 3 times a day. So I think that's too extreme. Just be an outside independent observer. Like, okay, dishes can be done once a day. I take out the trash, I straighten up, clean the bathrooms, and try to do laundry weekly. But I'll admit that's where I struggle. Okay, you struggle. Are you doing it or not? There is no struggle. There is do or do not. There is no try. You either do it or you don't. There's not no struggle. At your age, there is no struggle. That is such a weak, sophomoric teenager. Oh, I'm having trouble. No. You either do it or you don't. I believe I asked you, do you have a to-do list? I have a to-do list. You know what I don't struggle with? I don't struggle with anything. Not a thing, because I get it done. When I was out here by myself, GF still working at the real job at the physical place that she had to be at. There was no other person to get it done. I got it done all myself. The maintenance, the repairs, the dishes, all the regular maintenance. There's no struggle. You either do it or you don't. There's not an I'm tired. There's not, oops, I forgot. There's a to-do list. It's right there. And you just do. Every morning I wake up, there's a to-do list. Every night before I go to bed, there's the to-do list. That I did everything on the, oh crap, I forgot the thing on, because we forget, I get it. But I'm a mature, responsible adult on the cusp of no doubt getting gray pubes. I make sure I do it. But here, I also have to counter with, is his expectations of cleanliness, like, is he anal retentive? Is his expectations of cleanliness too high? And anyone would struggle with it. So I don't know. But I mean, the freak, and I hate to get into details, but I guess the devil is in the details. Okay, you clean the bathrooms once a week? Unless there's a profligate pooer in the house, I think once a week is okay. Laundry once a week, yeah, it's about right. Take out the trash weekly. Trash comes weekly. Straighten up. Now here's where I'm going to side with you, specifically folding. Folding? Laundry? Can we just shove it in? Shove it in. Who folds? Girlfriend does this all the fucking time. Folds my, for me, like, oh, isn't it lovely? No, it's annoying as hell. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. I'd rather have the free time for her to spend time with me. Your husband's obviously different. He wants them folded. Pretty anal retentive, buddy. Pretty anal. I don't make the bed. That's what, just so you all know. We're all different. We all have different standards. I don't make my bed. That's the dumbest waste of time ever. I don't care what Jordan Peterson says. Specifically with folding. Buddy, if you're pissed off because she's not folding enough or folding the wrong way, I'm going to rule you're the problem. Also, I try to make dinner nearly every single night, but we do go out more often when we don't have the kids, if he's okay with it. All right, that's a decision on a nightly thing. Additionally, I work out weekly. God bless you. See, yeah, kind of, you're doing more than, you're going way above the call of duty here. Certainly miles ahead of the average American woman. All while working full time. Yes, I was supposed to put a pot roast in the crock pot before we left the house, and I forgot. I can be absent-minded. To-do list, look, you troubleshoot a computer problem or a car problem. You eliminate things. You eliminate problems. So you get a to-do list. And then you're not absent-minded the next time. The mistake you would have made is not made then. And then see if things get better. That was it. That was the router, or that was the weak spot. So, I'm not saying, how dare you forget to put the pot roast. I get it. People make mistakes. I forget some things sometimes too. To-do list. That's like, on your to-do list is to get a to-do list. And it is the Bible from here on out. What you'll find out, you actually save a lot more time and things go much more smoothly. It is one of like the key 4 things to my success is my to-do list. So I'd say your husband should loosen up with the folding. And what was it, doing dishes multiple times a day? Yeah, buddy, you don't need clean dishes all the time. You should have a little bit of a reserve. Unless you're doing like I do, 1 fork, 1 spoon, 1 bowl, 1 dish, and you have to clean them multiple times a day. But let's just knock that out. Get a to-do list so you're not forgetting anything else. He's been going on about it all day and saying that I'm slacking because of the roast and 1 basket of laundry hasn't been folded. Yeah, buddy, I'm ruling with your wife on this one. It has exploded into a huge argument. All right, let's stop right here. Now, you both need context. This is argument worthy? This is worth emotions and energy? Are you kidding me? A pot roast wasn't done? Maybe I'm more lax and libertarian. I'm just like, if the GF failed to make something, oh, well, let's go get some food. I don't care. All right, fine. We're gonna get some food. I don't care. The laundry isn't full. I'd be happy if the laundry wasn't folded. Like, hey, how about you put on some heels and walk around and fetch me some tea? That's better use of your time than folding laundry. But this isn't worth getting into an argument over. Where he started criticizing my son for things that I can understand would be frustrating. Okay, wait a minute. What's your son doing? Are you on? That's not his blood. He has his genetics screaming at him to kill him. He won't, but he does. That's not his kid. If I had one, just so you know, in defense of him, putting up flags on a soccer match here all the time. Another man's children? No. No. Now, of course, he has some other woman's child. I get it. You're in my house? That kid should be fucking a Boy Scout salute and calling him sir. And so whatever your son is doing, you better get on that kid's ass. No. And he may not look, he's got a billion other things, which we'll get to. He's got a billion other things going on, as do you. Your son is, I don't know, not doing the chores or smoking cigarettes out back. I don't know, whatever he's doing that's wrong and pissing off the old man. All right. He doesn't have time to deal with that bullshit. And the fact it's some other guy's sperm. If I ever had a stepson, I'd grab the kid. I say, here's how it's going to be. I will gladly go to jail if you piss me off. It wouldn't be such a scenario. To be like, oh, that's nice. Kid's not allowed. I mean, really, your kid is not allowed here. So whatever, there's another thing on your to-do list for you to do. Get on your son and explain to him that he's in another man's household and he will knock off whatever bullshit it is. So that will take another couple bits of grains of sand out of the engine. But it's unnecessary, not related to what we were talking about. Yeah, but it came there. Look, do you want him to be happy or pissed off? Your son's pissing him off. It doesn't matter how this came about or came to you. You became aware of this. Deal with it. You crash down on it. You could say it's irrational. He loves him just like his own son. No, he doesn't. No, nope. Doesn't work that way. Nope. We have several projects going on lately. Now, here's where it would be called the confounding factors. Is that was there confluencing, confounding, complicating factors. We have several projects going on lately that have taken us away from the house on the weekends. One being a house I own that we're fixing up to rent out that's almost done. Okay, that's another part-time job. There's your problem right there. Look, everybody's going to have little grains of sand thrown into the engine, right? It's how much oil is left in the engine that can handle it. You guys are running an entire another engine on top of this. And everyone's got a certain amount of fuse or oil or lube that they can handle. Especially, are you doing that? Let me ask you this. I got to ask you. Are you swinging the hammer and doing all the manual labor on this house that isn't his? Or is he doing it? I don't want to hear for a second you complaining about household chores, even if it is a lot, if he's the one doing all the labor on your house that isn't his. He's got a kid that ain't his, and he's got a house that ain't his. And if you want to continue to go above and beyond the call of duty compared to your American female counterparts, I'm just going to assume, or maybe let me not assume. Please never complain about doing laundry or dishes when your husband is out repairing the car or putting up a roof or Lord knows whatever else. That's man chores and there are woman chores. Your chores are half the formula. His chores are outside the house. Your chores are inside the house. So I don't want to hear about it. If he's doing the work, I don't want to hear any complaining about the chores inside the house. That's your house, the rental. I also think it's going to be very complicated to do a rental. That's added managerial stress. You guys already have 2 full-time jobs between the two of you. Why would you add this added stress? Why don't you just liquidate the house, take that money, invest it in a real estate investment trust so there's no management? In other words, you're short on time, which means you have a short fuse. So now what would be little Jimmy scratched the car with his bike, which is understandable and forgivable, where he'd be like, dang, okay, little Jimmy, you're going to have to rake some more yards to pay for the scratch and dent, versus him blowing up. Right. And so I'd take a serious analysis of whether you should have this rental in your lives. And 2, a piece of land up north that he has just started to excavate. He's excavating? Well, where's his? He bit off more than he could chew. And how far up north is it? Is it 2 hours away, 1 hour away, half an hour away, 4 hours away? How far away? You got way too much house and property on your plate. Way too much. And when he's got to do this, oh God, I can't imagine what he's got to deal with contract. I can't imagine what he's dealing with contractors right now. Unless you're dealing with them. Yeah. Your guys, you bit off more than you could chew, and your fuses are too damn short. There you go. Then so what normally would know, I forgot the pot roast. He blows up because 98% of the fuel is all the bullshit else he's dealing with, not to mention it's probably his job. And the 2% is just this relatively innocuous thing that was the snowflake that caused the avalanche, the spark that lit the fuel. I typically clean on the weekends, grocery shop, and meal plan, but with all the stuff going on, it's been difficult. Right. I try to explain that to him that I can't keep up with it all by myself. Well, you're going to have to. What do you mean you can't keep up? Tell me if I'm wrong here, but you're responsible for the house maintenance and things and stuff like that, like running the house. He's doing all the repairs on 3 properties. He went a huge rant that he has to babysit me and that I couldn't do all the things he's doing with the property up north, etc. He's right. You can't. You know, and I don't know. I understand. I think his level of anal retentiveness is too high for the standards of cleanliness he wants the house, which obviously can sometimes multiply the amount of work. I mean, if it's clean enough, good. But if I want it that clean, well, that's like 8 times the amount of work. So I'm a little forgiving there. But yeah, given what he's doing, if you guys are going to go at this work level, you got to up your game. And you can't afford, here's the thing, at this level of performance, where you guys are essentially working 2 full-time jobs, you got to get masterful at time management. That's how I get, when I go into town, it's a half an hour drive to town. I can't, I forgot some screws. No, I'm sitting there taking 10, 15 minutes to figure out everything I need to go get at Menards or Lowe's before I go back. And because you failing to put the pot roast in on time and you just forgot the pot roast. Totally innocuous. Totally innocent. I get it. But somewhere that probably caused, like, now you got to spend an extra 30 minutes round trip to go to a restaurant that maybe the time you guys don't have. Now, what would normally, if you guys would just work at 2 part-time, full-time jobs as you might have done in the past. Oh, well, let's go get some food. Now he comes back. He's tired. He's exhausted. He had to deal with some sister fucking tradesman dipshit over in Houdang Digleyville. Your son, I don't know, took a crap on the floor. I don't know what teenage boys do. He just did something to piss him off. And then you're like, oh, I forgot to put the pot roast in. You can't afford to have a screw up like that. To-do list, time management. And just so you know, I'm going to imagine he's an outstanding manager of his time if he's juggling all this. And I do it. I manage my time because that's all you got is time. I want to make the most out of my time. So I'm very good at time management, and I could just see people pissing away time. Ways people don't understand. Like, let me ask you this. You're going to go to Subway. Do you know what you want? You should. Don't waste his time, not to mention everybody else's time in the back, being a Karen. Oh, what do I want when you get to the line, when you get up there? Another small stuff, but they're all grains of sand. And you'd be amazed how much faster things go if you just on your game. Ladies, you always do this. You wait. This isn't funny. The guy did a comedy skit, and I experienced this long before this guy did the comedy skit. You're going somewhere. Let's say it's cold. Like, I don't know, Minnesota, where it's fucking freezing. You get out of the car. You want to get into the nightclub or the jazz club or a home. What's the woman doing? Oh, now she's grabbing all of her shit. Ladies, grab your fucking shit. You know where you're going. You know where you live. And then the guy, I stopped. You standing there, it's cold, you're waiting. I don't wait, whether it's freezing outside or not. Just get in the car and go into the house. Guess what? The girlfriend does. She grabs her shit, and we're never wasting our time 1,000 billion times in the future ever again. So when this time management comes, and you know what? After like a month, you all of a sudden find out you probably have a lot more time and things will go more smoothly. But you got to be on it like flies on shit. And so whereas he probably sees it because STEM engineer mind, probably a little bit more intelligent, just saying, he sees some things like, why don't you X? And you're like, what didn't dawn on me? Oh, what are you doing? Have it start dawning on you. And I'm not saying go and audit your actions all the time, but get a to-do list. You'll be surprised how much more efficient it's such a high rate of return. And so it's just like I struggled. There is no struggling, there is doing. And so I think you could easily squeeze out an extra 10, 15% of time every day. Easy. Almost everybody can. Unless somehow you're like an amazing project manager and you went to the PMI Institute and you're like, oh no, I got it all streamlined. In which case, okay. It's like he refuses to do a single thing around this house because it's your job. Well, it kind of is, isn't it? Would his criticism of you be, what would the counter be? You refuse to do a single thing around your rental house because it's his job, because it's dirty work and it involves tools. Would that be a fair thing? Seriously, take inventory. Think about how much time. I mean, again, I'm not trying to defend him. I'm trying to explain him. So there's no more anger anymore. Like he is busy doing his regular job, excavating up north. I don't know why you got property up north, but you do. And then working on your rental property. It's gone. He's done. And he comes back and like you weren't able to do something, which in the grand scheme of things may be laborious and time consuming, but is simple. Again, it's the snowflake that causes the avalanche. But it is kind of your job. If you guys are both going to be tackling this amount of work, yeah, it's your job. All hands on deck. You can enlist the kids, enlist the boys. Hey, you're doing dishes. I don't know why you got kids. They're slave labor. That's what kids are for. Slave labor. Because I'm a woman, I'm happy to do most of the household duties and spend time with both kids, but it's like if I slip up, he's tearing me apart. Right, because there's no room for error with this schedule you guys have. I told him if he wants things done timelier, then he can allow me to take a less demanding, lower paying job. Well, does he get that option? No. I honestly say you should get rid of the rental property, sell it. I mean, fix it up and be done with it. You don't want to be managing it. I mean, that's up to you guys. It's just what I would say. And that property up north, what do you need it or can't you rent an Airbnb to go up north? Yeah, and he is balking at the idea because he's working 2 jobs. All the property maintenance and you're working it. You should be working 2 jobs. And no, there's no lower paying job. No, we are all look. Maybe you're more traditional now. It's too bad. That's the price you pay for being a liberal feminist back in the day. You voted for all these taxes. He has to pay all these taxes now. We all get to work, all of us. And if you'd like to maintain the standard of living with rental income and a resort property up north, you don't get that's not an option anymore. I mean, to fully assess, I'd have to look at your tax returns and say, okay, per hour, da. But I'm just going to say no. You all get to work. I'd get the kids involved. We have been trying to have a child, and I'm honestly being extremely reluctant. I don't think you guys should. A child. Now you're going to throw a child on top of this. No. No to the both of you. What are you, nuts? You guys can't keep it together now. Something's got to give. You guys don't have 70 hours a day. You got 24. Choose. Have a kid. Whose idea was that? And he expects me to continue working and keeping up with everything. Yeah. Look, why don't you all watch American Beauty and ask yourself if all this is worth it? Because I think these extra properties you got are like the Italian couch. Do you guys want a family or do you want like multiple properties and stuff? What do you want? I know things will end up becoming a problem, and sometimes I struggle as it is. You're the only one that can help because you're a man that he respects. Am I the asshole? You're not the asshole. I would say you're relatively, and even naive is too strong a word. You're unaware. I think you should. I'm not. Here, you want something fun to do? I would love to see you spend a day at your rental property doing exactly what he does. Like, you lift up I don't know, the concrete buckets. You go up the ladder for a whole day, and then you go up to the property and excavate. I mean, he'll be there to show you how to do it. And buddy, don't give her any help. No help. And you'd be like, "Oh shit, no wonder he's pissed off." And buddy, Mr. Anal retentive toothbrush on the toilet bowl, you go clean the house to your pristine levels of condition. You're like, "Oh yeah, this is taking a lot of time." I think the problem's not a gorilla in the room because like people don't mention it, but I don't think you guys are aware. Yeah, you bit off way more than you guys could chew. Way more. And like hell, you two are gonna have kid, at least during this time period. Y'all both screwed it up with divorces in the past. Don't know what you think's gonna happen this time. No, you're not an asshole. Asshole indicates maliciousness or laziness, and you're not doing that. You're just screwing up innocent screw ups that under normal, regular workload circumstances would not result in arguments. But I've been there, dealing with this house all the time, right? And and I'd go to anger management to try and manage my anger so I don't blow up at people. But by God. And we haven't even talked about all the other people in the world you guys got to deal with on a daily basis. You go out into the public, you got to deal with the idiot doesn't know ham sandwich. They don't put ham on your sandwich because they're a moron working for Jimmy John. Don't even get me started about the regular agitating life of other people. So I can't. Oh, well, he's obviously a dickhead. I know you're obviously a dumb bitch. It's like you guys, it's a little bit of everything. And buddy, she's letting you sleep with other girls. What the hell? Cut her a little break, maybe. There, I have ruled. I have ruled. Got the internet back. Marriage counselor Cappy. Now here I am. Oh, look at that internet go down. Yeah. Garrett Howard, $2. If her hub's name is Chris Watts, tell her to run. Okay. How was the audio? Is my audio off? I have no idea. All right. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.